lines you're drawing right now?
Oh, those are just like the rain, just like the rain. It's the floor.
So what's the symbol for occluded front?
It's E20 and then like the rounded half circle.
So,
It's like occluded one.
Triangle, half circle, triangle. Is there a color that goes with that?
So maybe, cause like blue and red.
Video, right?
You do. A couple questions though. On this occluded front, what type of weather does that usually present?
Stormy weather.
Stormy weather? Like, is it pretty severe, or is it just normal rain?
Sometimes like the occlusions can like re-energize like really severe storms.
Okay.
And sometimes even storms can like cause occluded fronts to happen.
Okay. And where would I find an occluded front?
Pretty much anywhere you find cold fronts.
In a cold front?
So yeah, like Oregon.
Yeah, okay. So on there, where's your warm front? Where's your cold front?
This is the one right here.
That's your warm one there?
And this is
Should you label that warm so we can see what you W and C would be?
I did it on the wrong side.
Wait here, you can see that.
okay.
Okay, so the warm's coming in. Is either one of them, they're not really overtaking each other?
No, the cold front is moving a lot quicker, so
Okay.
it eventually catches up to the warm one, and then they kind of like overlap, and then
Okay.
that's where the occluded front is.
Okay.
Where they overlap.
So we got much more speed from the cold front coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And what kind of clouds?
Oh, cumulus and mist and those drives.
Okay. All right, and I think you have a video as well to go with that? All right. So here's going to be my attempt to get this projector down the first try. Here we go. Now, that's in,
New record. What? I'm concerned.
okay,
Okay then.
let's see.
Wait.
No, have a seat, please, have a seat. No. Oh, quiet. Okay. Yep, the link.
Red and blue. Red and blue make purple, but this week's weather word isn't an art lesson, it's occluded front, which is a complex frontal system, and we're gonna break it down. I'm from meteorologist Jason Myers. An occluded front occurs when a cold front overtakes a warm front. See, when low pressure systems are developing, they usually form fronts around the warm front out ahead of it, cold front trailing behind. But in the atmosphere, cold air moves much faster than warm. So as a low pressure system nears the end of its life, the cold front eventually catches up to and overtakes part of the warm front, resulting in an occluded front. When this happens, expect a lot of precipitation because at this point, we now have cold air and warm air pushing that moisture up into the atmosphere, causing more rain. It's like wringing out a sponge when you're finished with it. The low pressure system is done with all that moisture, and now it's getting rid of it. So what do you want next week's weather word to be? Let me know in the comments below, tweet me, or send me a message on the Storm Shield Facebook.
All right, thank you very much. So I do want to say on there, like the symbol, you see the two fronts coming together, and included is the purple. It's going to be the triangles and the half circles like they talked about. And when red and blue come together, it makes purple. So it's where that section comes together, and it just dumps a ton of rain on there. Is that what you found in your studies? Okay. All right, group, thank you very much. Let's find out who won this.
We all know who it's gonna be, so like.
No. I came into it with open mind for this mystery prize for that presentation.
Is the important
But I think after the answer was given, I think group 3 is the winner on this
See,
one.
we all knew it.
So group 3, raise your hand if you're in group 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, right. Okay, group 3, here you go. After class is over, you can delve into that because right now, grab your notepad. We're going outside.
No, I don't want to. It's cold.
No. Grab your notepad. Oh wait, quick pause. Go to page 34 and make sure you have a pen and pencil. I'm going to go outside.
I barely want to pay 28. It's cold.
It is a little cold outside.
Shut up.
A little bit.
I'm gonna
Come on,
fight
son.
you.
It's not crazy outside for me.
Montana, I'm gonna fight you. I'm leaving my phone here.
Saquen sus cuadernos y sus lápices y salgan afuera, niños. Para hacer anotaciones. Juan Carlos, hoy que tienes que haber llegado temprano, llegaste más tarde.
I'm not talking, it's weird.
Okay, everybody come over here.
Sí, pasé en mi casa. Tú pagaste.
Okay, so now that we're outside, we're actually in the elements. We've been studying weather, but we haven't really interacted with it. I want to give you a few minutes. I want you to write down every observation you can about weather. Maybe compare it to what it is now, what it's like in July, what it's like, what kind of different weather happens here. So look at the sky, look at the ground, look what you feel. Write down all your observations. Right now, spend a couple minutes of, if I were to ask you, what is weather? You can come out here and say, well, weather is when I feel this. Because it's easy to just use the word weather, but I want you to describe it. So go ahead, take a few minutes, look around. That could be part of your descriptors. Anything about what your observations are. What you feel, what you see, what the air feels like, temperature on you. It's sunny, but is it hot?
I just wrote that. That's all I wrote. That's all it is. It's cold. That's it.
I just write it's California. What do you expect?
I'm sitting down.
Look at
This is colder.
If I look up, what do I see? Clouds. Yeah. We just did presentation on weather fronts. What kind of weather front do you think's up right?
The one that doesn't take clouds. I didn't see any of them.
You feel a breeze? You feel a start?
He said observations will go for the wind. Wait, we just have to stand here.
I'm gonna write down some observations of what you see. The clouds. The sun. It is cold. Yeah. It is February. It's a cold month, so like.
It's not cold in the sun.
So you feel the sun, but it's not hot. All right. But if this is July and there was no clouds, it would be the same temperature. Okay. Like what would you expect to see in the sky like that? Clouds with snow? Maybe they're kind of wispy.
It looked like it's gonna rain.
Really? Alright. Keep thinking about that. So, what do you think these clouds are going to do? You think these look like rain clouds?
They're gonna spread their wisdom.
Can I go? They're clouds.
No, the buildings are coming.
I don't really know what else to say.
You give them an emerald, they get.
I can see my breath.
You get nothing. Well,
It's
you
pretty
give them an emerald, you get something.
The sun is just
I'm gonna draw a smiley face.
Work with your partner.
the sun is shining. It's not super cloudy. It's a little windy.
It's cold and there's no clouds.
The weather makes more hay in the wind.
No clouds?
I mean, yeah, over there, but they're not here.
So clouds in the distance? Clouds in the distance. Do you see clouds in the distance? It's also right there.
Sure, that's like.
What do you think of clouds? Do they look like rain clouds?
That one does.
Maybe that one down there? All right. So are you saying there's different
Back
types
to
of
the
clouds?
800.
Put that there?
I know, careful, but it's because
Jorge, what do you see the difference in the clouds?
They're gray.
Gray?
Okay, then go ahead and steal my answer because that's some too, I guess.
Is there a difference between those ones and those right here?
Well, yeah, those ones are white.
I don't see a color difference.
Because they came this
Okay.
way in rain.
Esme! They're being annoying.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Stay with the cool. Okay, take a couple minutes right here, the last couple thoughts on weather before we go back inside.
This is my friend Esmeralda.
So is it boring out here? Not much going on now. If it was raining, it'd be a little more exciting, but it'd be pretty miserable standing here, huh?
This will have us like a giant.
Okay, let's head back inside with our thoughts.
Ay, cuidado. Yo puedo disparar aquí. Ask my brother real quick, 'cause he has my phone.
I'm getting my cousin name on it.
Okay, feel better to be back inside?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I want you to do in your notebook write down with great detail what you saw. And then,
Pero escriban con detalle lo que vieron. Escriban con detalle lo que
I
vieron.
want to ask you a couple questions on what you saw. Let's do this randomly though.
Quítese los audífonos y escriban con detalle lo que vieron.
Demetrius, what do you see? Clouds in the distance. Did anybody see clouds overhead?
Nope.
Okay. So, you say clouds in the distance, how far away?
About a mile.
A mile away. Okay. In just one direction?
No. Like maybe 3/4 of a mile.
Okay.
Like that way.
Okay.
Maybe a mile that way.
So it might be good to know maybe compass directions like north, south, east, and west, like say a mile to the west. Does that help? Now here's a question for you. If I wanted to know how much of the sky was filled with clouds, what would I ask? How many clouds?
A scientist.
Hmm?
That's
Like, is it a pretty cloudy day? What is a cloudy day versus not a cloudy day? How would I define that? Clear blue sky?
Wait, what you say?
So, spend like 20 seconds right now, work with your elbow partner. Then if I were to say, how do I define what a cloudy day is versus not a cloudy day? How would I judge that? So spend 20 seconds right now, talk to your elbow partner on that. Okay. Emmanuel. So, I want to know if it's a cloudy day or not a cloudy day. What would I use to measure that?
There were clouds, but not on top of it.
Okay. So you did see clouds,
Yeah.
but would you call today a cloudy day?
No.
No. Okay. So when would it be a cloudy day?
And it's all cloudy.
When it's more cloudy? Okay. So what if I did this? What if I said a percentage? Maybe over half the sky is filled with clouds? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Probably 80%.
Okay. So maybe a percentage. So who thinks that's a good idea? If we said maybe we have like 90% of the sky is filled with clouds. Is there any problems with that? What do you think?
You can't accurately measure that.
Ooh, it is kind of hard to measure that.
Also got to do math.
So, because I was thinking, okay, well maybe on a clear day we can see pretty far. If 90% of the sky is cloudy, it's a cloudy day. But what if we were surrounded by mountains? We can only see a little bit.
Why are we in the mountains?
What?
Why are we in the mountains?
No. What? There are mountain regions, so they would have to use a different measurement, right? So it doesn't really work. Okay. So write down in there, right now, put down an idea in your notebook, how I would measure cloudiness, and come up with an idea. How I would measure cloudiness. Okay. Maybe we can solve this problem, make it $1 billion. Be super famous.
It's not locked in right now.
Yeah, this is what it was like hacking over.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's locked in.
that's locked in. And
Wait.
I mean, it's not the whole thing, it's tilted.
Okay, that's gonna be what it is.
This is not how it was before.
I mean, this could be an adjustment on here.
That just allows you to turn it this way.
Wait, Mr. Dane. Mr. Dane,
There. Yes.
to count how many plugs there are or to measure how many plugs there are?
Ooh, okay. So how would we count?
So to how to count, or how will we count?
I was thinking how to measure the cloudiness of the sky, but that's a good question. Should we count the clouds? Is that possible?
Yeah, it would sound like it should.
Okay. Okay. So Lowell, what do you think? What's a good way to measure cloudiness?
Maybe a percentage of the sky coverage.
Okay, percent of the sky covers. Would we do that from the ground level?
I think that's where most people are.
So, on the ground, say if you're this little person right here, and you're looking up, you say you can see maybe this far as a pin, correct? So, what Lowell's saying, all right, what we can do with our little eyes, we can probably see something like this, and we can say, okay, here's our sky, and we say, all right, maybe this section of the sky right here, maybe like 70% of the sky would be cloudy on that right there, so maybe something like this. Okay. Who else? Kenzie, what do you think?
I have two things. So you can look at the precipitation because, like, you know, like rain comes from clouds, so it's rain outside.
Okay.
And then how bright it is, because if there's a lot of clouds, then it's going to block the sun, and then you can be bright outside. But if it's like really bright outside, you can only see the clouds.
Okay. All right. What about satellite imagery? Do you think that might be better, the same, or worse? What do you think, Cassie? What do you think? It would be better if we looked from the ground level up or from satellite looking down? How come? Aaron, what do you think?
Because you can see like more clouds
Oh, okay.
on top of it.
So better viewpoint.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna really blocked by mountains or trees or buildings, right? So you can have better imagery by satellite. Okay, I believe that. I believe that. Okay. So, what was the weather like today? If you were to somebody say, hey, what was the weather like during first period? Daisy, what would you say? Cold. Okay. What was it like yesterday?
Cold.
Cold.
I mean, both sides.
All right. What do you think it's going to be like tomorrow?
Same thing.
How do you know that?
Because of
Comes with the middle of the February.
Hey Siri, what's the weather?
Siri? Okay, so you use technology. People just assume. Like, do you think it's going to be about 82 degrees tomorrow?
Well, no.
No. February.
Because we're in winter.
Because we're in winter.
That was spring already.
Okay, well, when does winter end, though?
I have no idea. When
After March? Okay, so somebody says there's a concrete day. To make sure there's a concrete time after March. Somebody says, I don't know. So, March, is it March all around the world?
There's something to do.
Where is it? Is it, so it's March some places and it's not March? Is it February right now?
Oh.
All around the world?
Yeah. Oh, because you know how like in Australia, like the Christmas is like hot
Yes.
because of like
Ah.
summers or whatever.
So, I guess my question would be then, can it be the same temperature all around the world?
No.
Oh, here, God, no.
It
The equator.
It's cold up here, but it has literally warm.
What are y'all talking about?
Is science like built on?
Is it because we're orbiting to like the Earth?
Yeah, it's spinning around.
Okay.
Spinning around.
I want to remember the question. What? Restate the question, please.
Okay, so, right, the question was, right now, it's a pretty cold day outside. I had to get ice off my windshield, and we all agree it's cold right now. And when we talked to everybody was pretty much in agreement that yesterday was cold and tomorrow will most likely be cold. But when I asked if it's going to be cold all over the world right now, there was a resounding no. So my question was,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
what? Why is it not cold all over the
Well,
world?
first of all, half of the world isn't facing the sun, so like it's obviously
Well,
cold.
okay,
And then,
but still, I mean, it could be July, and it could be in the dark, July in the nighttime, and it would be pretty warm. So it could be, maybe it's cold right now on the other side of the world. Maybe the whole world's cold, that's having
depends on their
nighttime.
location.
Yeah.
Alright? But I like what Aaron says, I mean, we're kind of like a big round sphere kind of floating through space at an angle. Maybe we're getting sun on us differently. And then I think it was Kinsey who said, well, what about the equator? What about the equator?
Equator's always going to be warmer because isn't it closer to the sun?
So, does distance to the sun matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said it yourself. You got burnt more there than you got up here.
I did tell a story where I got horrifically sunburned because I was in Edinburgh and I was unprepared for it. So,
I got a bad sunburn right here. It was like this.
You had your lips sunburned?
No.
Oh, it's horrible.
so let's look at that.
Okay.
So we got the sun. Let's say it's right here, big giant thing, and we got the Earth. Not going to be scaled perfectly, right here. So, is the Earth perfectly up and down?
The Earth.
No, not the scale, by the way. It's just so we can see.
Just
So,
imagine everyone in the world.
it's not completely north and south, right?
It's like tilted.
It's
The
leaning.
towers.
On an axis, I don't know.
Okay. Who thinks the planet is leaning or tilted at an angle?
Oh, it said the science said it is.
Okay, it
Oh,
is?
I heard that eventually it's turning more and more like this, so eventually it'll be like that.
What?
That's
Okay, it's like it's tipping
They
over.
got it right.
Yeah, like it used to be
We're
like
gonna be
nice
upside down.
tilted, and like it's gonna be more and more.
Where do you hear that?
It was like a book about like the Earth and like it was like in the seventh grade or
Find out more, let me know. Aaron, what do you think?
So you know how our planet is like circling over the sun, right?
Okay, so you mean kind of like this number orbiting?
Yeah, and then like we're kind of like far. It's like rows, and we're like kind of like in a farther road. Or closer? Is it closer or farther? I don't know. But like
way close.
like the way the planet, the Earth orbit is kind of it is tilted, like because it goes.
Okay, so first of all, I think we universally agreed that the planet is at tilted. It's like North
is.
Pole and the South Pole. Let's just put it on here. It's not perfectly up and down, but it's at an angle. Okay, but we orbit the sun. So does that mean that we're equal parts away from the sun all year round? No, it doesn't. So sometimes we're a little closer, like this distance right here, versus this distance right here.
That's in like this season.
Okay, so that's part of it, because of the season. But this tilt, so the sun hits it and covers like this area right here.
Would we
Okay. And that is kind of like our equator. Which heats up our equator.
What?
Yes, can we?
Doesn't the Earth like rotate on its own as well?
Ah,
So,
it
like,
does.
it's spinning. And doesn't it take like hundreds of years to like fully orbit the sun too?
To fully orbit the sun?
No,
Takes
no,
1 year.
1 year.
Or does
It
it
takes
okay,
1 year.
That's
Sorry, I didn't learn this.
That's fine. That's fine. Yes, Chris.
Would we ever be like Venus close to the sun?
If we
No.
did, we would all die and burn to death.
No, it is forecasted that the first several planets will be destroyed.
Yeah, because they're gonna.
Well, the
Expected
sun
in the sun.
is actually increasing in its size.
Yeah.
It's going to become, it's like a white dwarf. It's going to increase as it expands. It's going to envelop the atmospheres of the first couple planets. It's going to completely destroy. So, but that is many, many millennia away. But right now, we have to figure out like how this works, why it's hot and cold, and how do we predict. So right now, I want to ask you one question. I want you to write this down. I would predict the weather by. And like, I want to know what the weather's going to be tomorrow, and next week, and next month. How would I predict that?
I would predict the weather by.
Yeah, I will predict the weather. I can predict the weather by, and it's fill in the blank.
question that's completely unrelated to the topic that we're talking about, but it's been in my mind for like 3 years.
Is it an easy question I can answer?
I don't know. It depends on how smart you
Well,
are.
first of all, answer this question before I come back to that one.
Weather apps.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, there we go. So my question was, so you know how we're in the Milky Way galaxy, and we've never went farther than that?
Oh gosh, you got me. I love my space science too. We are in the Milky Way galaxy, but the Milky Way galaxy is moving.
Yeah,
And-
but we've never went farther than the Milky Way galaxy, correct?
Our planet, because we are inside of it.
Do you think that in the galaxy next over, that there are more humans alive that are like more like intelligent than us, living better?
Different
Oh,
universes,
guarantee that
different galaxies.
Hundreds
That's possibly could be true.
Or there's like another, there's just like another set of us.
Yeah, but like different. Like
Okay.
Women like different gender.
Mine's straight.
Different gender.
So, Ruben, how would you protect the weather?
Could have been English.
My present day.
By looking at something.
Okay. So, if I get what Ruben's saying, he would use his senses. He would observe the weather right now. And how does that relate to the future?
Because the relation to the future, bro, I would have an insurance tomorrow.
The same way. Okay.
It'll be cold today, it'll probably be cold tomorrow.
Probably be cold tomorrow.
Or the weather,
Okay. So, real life story. When I was younger, I was in Texas. And Texas, do you think it has similar weather here or different weather? Different.
way hotter.
Could be way hotter, but it was, it could be the same month. There was a 47-degree temperature swing in one day when I was there. Now, everybody heard about the polar vortex that happened recently?
Oh, what?
The polar
That sounds
vortex.
terrifying.
Yes.
Can you show us?
So, I don't have it up right now, but what happened was, it was negative 55 degrees where my sister lives in Chicago. 55 below zero. And then it was like 23 degrees. So it was about an 80-degree temperature swing.
I thought it was gonna be like a thing, like an actual like vortex that like appeared on it.
Now, what it does is there's a polar area on the on top of the Earth. There's a polar vortex. What it does, it pulls down the temperature into areas so like that